And the person that has been following this all along has been Lisa Evers, who has been, who has interviewed Diddy and has had these connections with people in that music world. She's down there in front of the courthouse right now talking about this this turnaround from yesterday. We went to, again, as Antoine said, you had two people on both sides of the aisle here, multiple people in part of the jury saying that they were not going to be persuaded. The judge said, you got to go back, you got to figure this out, and we came back with an answer this morning. So, Lisa, was there anything that surprised you from the results this morning?
Well, I think what was most surprising, Bianca and Antoine, was the speed. They came back today. Yesterday, it seemed intractable. The word was unpersuadable, that they could not be persuaded on that first RICO charge. And then all of a sudden this morning, what most people in the court thought was just another note from the jury about something, mid-morning, it turned out to be, we have a verdict on this one charge, this RICO charge that we did not, that they could not decide on. So that was a pretty quick turnaround. And as one former prosecutor has said, don't underestimate the power of a looming three-day weekend, holiday weekend ahead. So whether that was the fact or whether they had already gone through so much together, because remember, they're all sitting through nearly 2 months of this testimony and evidence, pretty hard not to have some kind of an idea just on an individual basis of which way they were going. But quite a scene this morning and quite a scene right now. Let me just show you what's happening, and then I'll bring you up to speed with where we're at with Combs, who is still in a holding pen in the building you see right behind me. So let's just show you what's happening. Oh, now the bus is here. We'll come back to that, Roy. So there's been a big crowd. There's a huge media crowd in front of the courthouse, which has been for most of the trial, especially yesterday and today. And then what is happening now is the judge had asked for basically a bail package, and also comments from the prosecutors about whether or not they should grant Diddy bail. So he was found not guilty, as you guys were talking about, the RICO charge, the racketeering, which is also called the racketeering conspiracy charge. That was the most serious. He was looking at many, many years, if not life, behind bars on that if he was found guilty of that one. They also found him not guilty on 2 counts of sex trafficking, but they did find him guilty on 2 counts of transportation for prostitution. Each one of the charges, which has been mentioned, carries a maximum of 10 years, and sometimes when there's double counts on the same charge, they'll allow somebody to serve them concurrently. But we're getting way ahead of ourselves with that, because right now what his defense team is focused on is trying to convince this judge to make sure that they can get him bail and get him out of there from that courthouse. Now, just a short time ago, we saw jurors were ushered out in a very low profile, some might say secret side entrance of the court. They were taken out that way so they would not have to face all of the media that's out there. Mrs. Janice Combs left less than 10 minutes ago, so I think that shows some indication that they might be making progress with the bail. I would take, because she has literally been by his side and here in court every single day, supporting her son. And also, too, Janice Combs was, she's his mother, which is #1 role, but she was also a partner in some of the businesses, the legitimate businesses in the bad boy worldwide empire that were here, that were mentioned in the course of this trial. So basically what's happening now is the prosecutors asked for a couple of hours to put together their notes on bail. Remember that earlier throughout this trial, Combs was denied bail 3 separate times, $50 million worth of bail. But today, a big victory for the defense, victory for the defense in terms of beating that main RICO charge, which a lot of people in the legal community that we've interviewed dozens and dozens over the last couple of months on this, felt that was too aggressive on the part of the prosecution, that it didn't really fit what the crimes were here, but they were going for it anyway. So that's the latest from here, guys. Back to you.
All right, Lisa, thank you.